Aloha. Welcome to Mystic Movement Astrology. I'm your host, Lena Love, and I look forward to navigating the stars with you today. I'm glad to be back. It's been a little while since I've done a moon report or an energy report, as I'm going to do today. And yeah, there's been a lot going on. There's been a lot going on collectively and for people personally, I'm sure as well. These energies seem to find a way to manifest in all dimensions. So let's dive in. Let's talk about it. The sun just entered Leo. We're now at 3 degrees Leo. So this is a very playful and creative time. I'm going to analyze the chart today in terms of yin and yang energies. So you may know Leo is a fire sign. So this is a very yang energy. This is a very outward directed arrow of creativity, of engaging, of playing, of celebrating, of romance, of children. These are the signatures of Leo. Now, the other aspects we have going on, there's one in particular I'd like to point out is a little bit more of a yin vibration. So we're looking at Venus in Virgo. So Venus, as we know, is the planet of love and beauty. She also rules Libra and Taurus, so she relates to the senses, our sensual experience of the world in this embodied physical sense, and also to the air element of beauty, the beautiful thought with Libra and justice, for instance. So we have this Venus opposing Neptune, which is 0 degrees Pisces, and they're about a 3 or 4 degree orb of separation right now. So this aspect is still pretty powerful. So Pisces is that oneness, that water element of spirituality. And with Jupiter here, Jupiter is our planet of expansion, so this is our third eye consciousness. So I want to talk about how Venus in Virgo, Virgo has to do with the body, has to do with health, has to do with working with our hands, very practical matters. So this aspect of the spiritual juxtapose the practical with Venus and Neptune. Neptune is the higher octave of Venus, so it's like love and divine love. So it's about coming back to the body and loving ourselves in a physical, sensual, embodied, grounded way, and how that is the doorway to this more expansive enlightenment of consciousness. So that's really what is predisposed in the chart right now. That's a really powerful aspect for us to capitalize on. So this is a time to really tune in with your body, tune in with what are you feeling in your body, and this can be something really dramatic. It can be something really subtle. It can be, I noticed I was holding my breath a lot this week, or I noticed my digestion hasn't been at its best. And, Virgo is kind of this critical archetype that is very, it's ruled by Mercury, so it can be very aligned with that left brain thinking as well. So sometimes, that archetype has this critical nature. So that's because in order to improve, we need to be able to discern, okay, these are the symptoms I have, so what actions can I take? So really the critical aspect of Virgo is really for our empowerment. It's for us. And so if we see it that way, we can see all of these things that might be coming up in our self-awareness, not as judgments, but as signs, as indications of a path forward, or maybe a shift that needs to be made. So, yeah, Jupiter rules our third eye, and, Venus is more of the sacral chakra. So this may be like a way in which we can expand our consciousness through love and through love of the body in Virgo. So really spending that time to do those self-care, nourishing inner self-nurturing practices, and that is really the heart of spirituality. That spirituality isn't something like cut off at the neck that's way up here out in outer space, but it's in our body. The galaxy is within us, and there's no better instrument for revealing that truth to us than astrology. So let's continue to map out this story of the chart as I'm looking at it today. So another aspect we have going on is Lilith conjunct the North Node in Gemini. So we know that the North Node is our path forward in collective evolution. So that's where our karma is. That's where we're looking in order to evolve. So the North Node in Gemini is all about learning. It's all about communicating. It's all about speaking the truth. Gemini is related to the fifth chakra, is speaking our truth in our hands. And it's also a Mercury signature, just like Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So Mercury is featuring strong in the chart today, and these aspects will be continuing for some time, at least the next few weeks to a month. And then the North Node is here for another several months. And Mercury is the fastest planet. It's the closest to the sun. So this planet is a very dynamic and significant planet to our functioning as human beings. It rules our nervous system. So with the North Node in Gemini, this is about like attuning to the truth. And this is conjunct Black Moon Lilith. So Lilith is all about the truth. She's the wild feminine archetype. She's the true original feminine. She's not like Eve. The story of Lilith was she refused to lie beneath a man, and she embraces her wild power. This is a different story of the genesis of man and women Lilith offers for us, because her identity in the feminine is not derived from the rib of a man, for instance. So what do I see here? I see that Lilith in the feminine, wild, sensual, yin vibration, conjunct the North Node in Gemini, all about the truth and communicating with our hands and our bodies and our voices. This is like the feminine finding her voice to talk about the things that might be hard to talk about, might be hard to hear. And Lilith doesn't back down. She's wild, she's free, she's fierce. Lilith is going to give you the truth, whether it's pretty or not. And that's what we're really seeing a lot in the world right now, especially relating to some of these taboo topics, depending on where you lie in the whole vaccine situation. Yeah, there might be truths on both sides, but what Lilith is saying is we have to be willing to get more information. We have to be willing to go for the deep, raw facts. So we have to be able to discern, and this is where that wild feminine power comes in, because we don't just passively conform. That's more of like the Eve tale. So Lilith is like, come on, people, like, you are indigenous to the earth. You are the ones. You are the people that have a right to this earth. You are the people that have a right to the truth. So don't just blindly accept whatever is being handed to you. Like, really unveil these illusions and peel it back and look for it and see what you find and confirm for yourself. So this is also about coming back to the body and coming back to this intuition So we've got, Gemini, which is like really in the mind energy and the nervous system. And yes, we have to discern with the facts. But sometimes that can be a battle that's never ending, right? It's like one side, the other side, the other side, the other side, and we get dizzy. We feel like we're moving in circles. So that's where intuition comes in. When intuition is so powerful, because our minds are very deceptive. We can't believe every thought that crops up in our head. We might know this intellectually, but how often do we just unconsciously believe whatever comes into our field or comes into our head or comes on the news, or, whatever popular, reductive, spiritual bypass information that's being spoon-fed to us? Like, how much do we really just believe that because it's convenient, it's comfy to believe that? So intuition doesn't rest on the laurels of pleasant, rational, nice ideas and nice, neat solutions that seem convenient. Intuition is like, hey, I'm feeling activated right now. I'm feeling, it might just be nervousness. A lot of times we're like, oh, like anxiety, like it's so bad, like tap it down. It's like, why are you feeling anxious? Do you feel anxious around certain people versus other people? Do you feel anxious when you're doing certain tasks versus other tasks? Our culture wants to just anesthetize all of this pain, but pain is our greatest teacher, because pain gives us signals to be aware of what paths not to go down. And to the extent that we're forcing ourselves to go down one path that doesn't feel comfortable, and this brings me to another aspect that I want to weave into this story, which is the Pluto Capricorn, which has been here all year in 2020. We've been talking about it a lot. A lot of astrologers have been talking about this. So, Capricorn is our survival means of survival, means of money, of security, of work. So retrograde in Pluto, it's, Pluto is our power. Pluto is that like deep, unconscious force of power. So what I see here is the lack mentality. We can't get out of that lack mentality, and so collectively there's this unconscious grasping, and we all do it. We're all looking for, let me just get this to fill myself so I can feel better, or I'll feel better when I go on this vacation, or I'll feel better when I have this kind of relationship in my life, or I'll feel better like when I'm done with this huge project for work, or I'll take care of myself then. And we keep putting it off and putting it off. But what happens is we never actually get to that feeling of fulfillment, because that feeling of fulfillment can only be found in the moment, here and now. By tuning in with our emotions, by tuning in with those feelings, those sensations of the body, and caring about them. So this Pluto in Capricorn is opposed Mercury in Cancer. So another Mercury signature here in Cancer with the feelings. So we're integrating the mind and the heart here. Cancer rules the heart and the stomach, so this area. So all of this is related. And if we can really tune our minds to our feeling and understand that if we begin with serving what is going to nourish us from the inside out, so Cancer is another yin sign, whereas Capricorn is yang, then everything is available to us. We are living an abundant life of joyful meaning, bliss, and freedom. And this is the essence of Eastern mysticism, of the truth of the Tao, which I'm going to share with you a few lines from the Tao Te Ching at the end of this recording. So thinking about this Pluto Capricorn energy, this is your stereotypical, like, well, I need a bigger house, I need a bigger car, I need I need status, like that's my worth. And what do we have? We have Uranus in Taurus, so like awakening to our sense of worth. And we just had this full moon in Aquarius, so that's all what it's about. It's like this letting go of, with Saturn in Aquarius, so there's that mutual reception between Capricorn and Saturn. It's that letting go of all of these external qualifiers of worth, because that's false. That's not the real you. The real you is not impacted by these external realities. And so, this is the way of awakening, is by coming within and meditating on that inner point of the circle within us. And the more that we bring our awareness within, the more we allow the rest of our lives to be filled effortlessly. But the irony is that the more that we try to fill through our control and grasping, the more empty we are. Think of the archetype, the story of the hungry ghosts, right? They have really skinny necks and really big bellies, so they can never get full and they can never feel satisfied. So really the greatest wealth and power we can have is contentment. Because to the extent that we are content with ourselves, we don't need anything from the outside world. That sets us up to attract everything. So it's like that famous Zen koan, I know nothing, therefore I can know everything. I need and want nothing, therefore I can have everything. So this is the tricky little paradox of the universe. Stop trying. Just be. Breathe. Relax into that feminine essence. And then the yang evolves naturally from the yin. It's just like a seed is planted in the womb. So the womb is that dark space in the center from which life evolves out from that center. So we cannot create a reality, an inner reality within us from an outer circumstance. And if we do, it will be fleeting. It's not something that can endure. And the last aspect I'll point to is this Mars in Leo, quincunx Neptune in Pisces, and Pallas Athena there. So, it's either we are fulfilled by something that is a genuine action that is based on our true expression of self through just our pure being. And we celebrate that, with Mars in Leo, like Sun in Leo, like that's like Leo wants to party, we want to celebrate. But to the extent that we're partying to escape, Neptune rules escape, so quincunx, this Leo energy, it's like, oh, well, I want to feel happy and spiritual, and I want to feel like with the oneness, Pisces is the oneness, so I'm going to just like party and forget what I have to do and forget my body, for instance, the Venus in Virgo, and I'm just going to create it from the outside, right? This is the yang going into the yin, and this is just not going to work, Quincunx is a conflict. Quincunx is an annoyance, is a frustration energy there. So we cannot get the reward without going through the feeling. So you can numb and you can numb and you can avoid and you can avoid, but it's still gonna be there. And if you don't recognize it in your mind, like Mercury in Cancer now, this is a time to start recognizing these feelings. This is a powerful time where the energy is primed for us to have added ability to be able to discern our feelings and own them and express them. Absolutely express them. North Node in Gemini. And if we don't, and we suppress and we repress and we deny and we escape, the last place that these feelings are going to go is they're going to express in the body. Because you are mind, body, spirit complex. They cannot be dissociated from one another. So that's why we really want to know about what is chronic and what is urgent to be aware of in your current reality, this now moment, is in your body. Tuning in, breathing, feeling. And sometimes just feeling it is what helps it to release. Because what we resist persists, and what we embrace can flow with grace. So that is all I wanted to share with you today, and I will read a little excerpt from the Tao Te Ching in closing. The Tao alone nourishes and brings everything to fulfillment. The Tao gave birth to one. One gave birth to two. Two gave birth to three. All three begot the 10,000 things. The 10,000 things carry yin and embrace yang. They achieve harmony by combining these forces. Namaste. Aloha, everyone. I will leave a longer excerpt from this Tao Te Ching. It's so beautiful in the comments below. And I'll leave a little recap of the aspects that I touched upon here. And feel free to leave a comment. I would really appreciate it. And hit that like and subscribe button to receive more videos like this. Take care. Have a great day.